Preston, home of the former Miller Park Hotel, Avenham Park, the Harris Museum, and many of its other beauties which have a lot of history to offer, of which many of us are unaware of. What really caught my interest was the Corn Exchange. How long has it been here, and why would a building with such a large size be used just as a public house? I took to the library to try and find some answers. It turns out this building dates all the way back to 1824 and was much larger than what we can see of it today. Costing £11,000 to build, the Corn Exchange consisted of a number of large rooms around an open court covered by a glass roof. This Georgian-style building held a main purpose, for locals and outsiders of the town to trade grain and crop. The building attracted many smaller markets that surrounded the area. These markets, along with the large production of cotton, helped Preston grow from a small country market town to becoming the third most important city of the Northwest, after Manchester and Liverpool. In 1833, the term teetotalism was coined at the Preston Temperance Society, founded by Joseph Livesey. The idea of these meetings eventually was for people to stick sober and indulge in non-alcoholic drinks, which is quite ironic as it now stands as a pub. By 1842, the cotton depression had turned Preston into chaos as the poorly paid workers had turned to protest, leaving 4 of them shot dead by the authorities. This was a key movement in British history, where workers began to stand up for themselves. A statue sculpted by Gordon Young was placed in the late 1980s outside the front of the building to commemorate the courageous activists that died that day. George Sowerbuts, Bernard McNamara, John Mercer and William Lancaster. The statue's unique and artistic impression brings a cultural edge to Loon Street, but comes with much controversy due to the way the protesters are shown. They appear to be pleading for their lives when in fact they were fighting for their rights. Not long after the cotton depression came the Great Lockout of 1853, when workers demanding pay increases were locked out of the mills by their masters. This became internationally famed, and Karl Marx thought the revolution may begin here. He said our St. Petersburg is at Preston. The Corn Exchange was granted its first refurb in 1855, making it open and available as the town's exhibiting centre. 1865 was the year the building was christened as the Town Hall, which led to many establishments and growths in Preston, one being Galloway's, established in this very place in 1867. It's Lancaster's oldest charity and is now a service that provides for over 7,000 blind and visually impaired people. By 1870, public events had become the building's official purpose, making it the main venue for balls, dinners, meetings, and the later 1882 Guild. By this time, it had been rechristened as the Public Hall, and extended to seat an estimate of 1,500 people around the galleries and balconies. The West End was able to accommodate 300 performers around a powerful organ. The organ was donated by John Dewhurst, coal merchant of Preston. It was erected by a man from Kendal at the cost of £3,000, which added to the eventual cost of £12,000. This included reconstruction and interiors. The Corn Exchange had been described as the most elaborate and convenient building for all kinds of public assemblies, concerts and balls in the north of England. Another costly but distinctive feature of the public hall was the sprung dance floor. This served its purpose for a good 100 years, attracting many band performances from such greats as the Beatles of '63, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple and King Crimson throughout the decades. The 1972 Guild took pride of being the last event there, as the building was suffering from dry rot. Estimates put the cost of repair over £150,000, so by 1973 it was decided the hall had to be closed. The building played a significant role in Preston's agricultural, industrial, social and leisure history for almost 200 years, and many were sad to see it deteriorate. The hall was partly demolished in 1986 as it gained listed building consent, and the job was completed 4 years later in 1990 as plans were made to build a ring road. The cost was nearly £100,000 to demolish, but at least now we have a great ring road. The Corn Exchange now serves as a public house, providing the local community with alcohol and food throughout the day. Fitted with large screens for sports, pool tables for entertainment, and the club has a large space to party in the evening. With its endless historical features, the Corn Exchange still stands strong as a place to congregate and socialise. With Preston growing in population, this building should continue to bring people together and support the town and country in this financial dip as we climb away from this negative stage of history.